Hi guys, happy quarantine. Sorry that we're not able to do these classes in person, but I like to always see these weird struggles as an opportunity to focus on something new. So we can't do big exercises across the floor, we can't do big fun grand allegros, but we can focus on a really clean bar. I also want to do a couple of floor exercises before we get started so that we can wake up those glutes even more. I know I'm always harping on that, but especially now, if you're anything like me, you've probably been sitting a little bit more than usual, and the glutes are getting nice and relaxed. So just to get the glutes and the hamstrings and the lower back and everything nice and awake, I'll do some floor exercises before we start bar. I will be using a chair as my bar. I'm assuming that everybody else has a chair in their house or something similar height to a chair, and it should give you enough stability to be able to do all these exercises. So I hope you like this, and if you do, I'll try to do more. And yeah, so, one more thing. I have two, as some of you know, I have two small dogs who are very cute and very poorly behaved. So they might be trying to get in the frame from time to time. One of them especially is like a tiny little guard dog, so she might start barking, so I might have to stop and start this video. Or I'll just let them like bark through it and be in the frame, and we'll enjoy the fact that I brought my dogs to ballet class like I wish I always could. So enjoy this class. Alright, so I'm going to start with just a little easy. I have socks on right now so I can slide around a little bit more. I just like to do this little side-to-side motion when I'm limited on space and I want to get my legs awake. I'm not plieing as much as I'm scooping down kind of into the ground, feeling this kind of motion. And you can go forwards and backwards, really digging into the space. Get yourself nice and awake. This is also just kind of like feels good. If you've had any knee injuries, it's a good way to get your glutes and hammies firing so that you're protecting everything. So big fan of that one. Now I'm going to sit down and digging my heels into the ground. I'm going to slowly articulate up. 3, 4, 5, 6, scooping that abdominal and relax, and initiating by actually rotating the legs inward. So you think of almost a little basket that you're creating, closing up that basket, using it to lift yourself up and down. 6, 7, 8. Last time we're going to go up. Again, I'm digging my heels into the ground. I'm going to stay in this position, pressing my left foot into the floor. I'm going to bring my right foot up to a march and down. And right foot up, down, left foot up and down. And alternate. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping my pelvis even. So using that opposing foot, really pressing into the ground, making sure I don't dip and break this line. And then you can have your hands on the floor, but I like to not rely on my hands to do this. And 2 more. And now I'm going to extend this leg up. You can point it or flex it. And down. Up, down, up. Again, keeping that chain of connection from my pelvis to my knee. I want to make sure I'm not knocking the knee in or opening the knee out. Already lost count. This is probably 6. And 7. And 8. Left foot down, right foot up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. And squeeze your legs a little bit. Rock from side to side. And rolling up. And before we get started, one last thing. I'm just going to do a nice plank. We love a plank. Remember, in your plank, you want to make sure that you're not sinking into your shoulder girdle and that you're keeping your legs nice and extended. Oftentimes when I'm having ladies do a plank, I see that the legs are a little bit relaxed, and you really want to be pushing that energy through the heels and all the way through the top of the head. For an extra challenge, if you'd like, you can press down with the left foot, lift the right just a couple inches. So again, you're keeping that pelvis nice and level. I'm not turning out my legs or anything, I'm just lifting them up a little bit. I can tell I haven't exercised in a while because this is really hard right now. Ah! And come on down. And press up into that back. Warm. For our plie, starting in first position, left hand on the chair, 6, 7, and 8. Arm comes across and stretch, and over and stretch, and straight down. You should really feel those rotators because they're nice and warm, so they're not doing this. And 7, 8, forwards. Just put both hands on the ground. You can relax into your right knee, relax into your left knee, getting a nice hamstring stretch. Roll up through the spine, 6 and 7 and 8. 2 grand plies. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and over, 2, 3, 4. Rise up, lower down, tendu to fourth position and across, same as first. 3, 4, and grand plie. 6, 7, 8, away from the bar. 2, 3, 4, rise up. Make sure when you're rising up, it's both sides of your pelvis coming up, so we're not sitting back into one, picking up and then stacking. Everything scoops up at the same time in the center. 6, 7, 8, and same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. This time we'll do circular port de bras. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to first position, plie, roll up, find your balance with the arms in first, and finish. Two grand plies. Remember to fill out the music in this. Don't just pop down to that sitting position and pop back up. Give everything value. And follow the hand back to center with the facing. And fourth position. Away from the bar. And straight up, long through the legs. And across. Plie, roll up. Keep the arches where they are, nice and high. And for an added challenge, bring that port de bras up and look into the center. And finish. Left side. 2 counts down, and 2 counts up. And toward the bar. And open, and facing on pause. And forth. Across. And fifth. Sits bones right underneath. Make sure the ribcage is floating right on top of the pelvis, stacked right on top, and relaxed and lifted as opposed to tense and ahead of it. And float the arms up. Remember, the shoulders are not involved in that. They should be able to be completely separate. And finish. Okay, we're going to do a tendu exercise now. Left hand on the chair. P.S. Is anyone else going like this with your chair? Because I am. I'm having a hard time. But yay, extra challenges. We're going to be so unbalanced when we get back to like a regular studio with bars and everything. So this will be in first position with the feet. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pop up to a demi-point. Remember, again, I know I'm always saying this, but guess what? I'm going to keep saying it. When you pop up to demi-point, make sure you don't, if you're like me, going to like that 4th and 5th metatarsal in that sickle position feels like actually amazing. We never want that, however. This is a part of your body that we don't want to be super loose. And it's also a part of your body you don't want to train to be working that position because you don't want to come out of a jump out of this like that. And you also don't want to like do an arabesque like that because it's the worst. So coming up on kind of like that 2nd and 3rd metatarsal, very, very central. 1 and wrap, 3 and plie, and press tendu and close, wrap pas de cheval, close, demi and a wrap and a demi plie. From the bottom of the plie, push to tendu, close, wrap pas de cheval, and close. Encore, 2, 3, 4, and 5, not 5, 5. 6, wrap, pas de cheval, close, and 8, double time tendus with port de bras, 5, 6, 7, 8. As a reminder, we've all been working on our épaulement at Barre, so it's not enough to do this, or even to do this, where I'm using my eyes and that's it. When I am down, notice how my angle of my head is changing, and my chin goes all the way up so that my eye line can follow comfortably, and finish. And then reverse the whole thing. I think there should be music to go, yeah, I think there should be music to then go straight onto soutenu, détourné, and we'll go straight to the left side. Six, and first and second, demi-point, and wrap, demi-point, plie, press tendu, close, wrap, pas de cheval. 1, 2, press tendu, wrap, pas de cheval. Remember with the wrap, the toes are behind the leg, heels in front. 3, 4, and keep pulled up. 6 and 7, fast tendus, and a 1. Notice my épaulement changes, and 5, 6, and 7. Back to en face. and plie. We're going to be tenduing from fifth, and in this we're going to have a little spring up to passe. Remember, when you spring up to passe, it's not enough to go straight up, but you want to go up over what your new center of balance is going to be. So I'm not just going to go here and be angling toward my heel. I'm going to place myself in what my new balance is going to be, which is from here. My balance changes all the way over. So you see it goes from there to there, from there to there. So I want to make sure that I'm doing that. Another thing that I want to think about in my with my placement of my weight is because this tendu is going to be coming from one foot to, it's going to be switching supporting legs. I want to make sure that I place my leg down carefully where I'm going to be standing. So the leg that I place into fifth is going to be my new standing leg, which means I'm going to be standing all the way on it. Because of course, standing in fifth position, my balance is between my feet. But when I move to one leg, my balance turns into being over whatever leg I'm standing on. So there is a change of weight that is necessary. It's not a lean, it's just a repositioning centered over what your new standing leg is. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Tendu and close. Tendu and close. Tendu and close. Up, down. Foot's going to stay where it is. Then it's going to go up and change. Up, down. And I went first for the first passe, fifth for the second passe. It looks like this. And 7 and 8 to go. And back, front, front, side, side, back, front, down. We're going to do this twice through. 2 tendus, 2 tendus, 2 tendus, up, down. So you're always in fifth on the count. And close, and fifth, and fifth. We'll do 2 times through, then we'll stop because I think the song is too short to do it to the left. This is a tendu, not a dégagé. I'm going to say it again. It's a tendu, not a dégagé. Because I know that somebody watching this is going to do this quickly and they're going to just let that foot just brush off the floor ever so slightly. It's a tendu. 7, 8, and place, and place, place, and place. 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and to the back. First, fifth, repeat. I'm tired. I normally at least take some breaks when they're dancing.
Yeah.
Left side. Watch the shape of your foot in the passe. Make sure it doesn't repeat. Cheval. I don't like how I'm showing this. That's fine. All right, so we're going to do a jeté. This is going to be, again, the accent is going to be in fifth on the 1. So, and close, piqué, close, close, pas de cheval. Remember that when you're doing these fast pas de chevals, you want to use the close of your preceding step to be the impetus for your open. So rather than close, and then, oh, I got to pick it up. So let it swing through that position so it's nice and smooth. So dégagé, piqué, close, dégagé, pas de cheval. Dégagé, this is en croix, close, dégagé, pas de cheval. Close back to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and up to passe. Ooh, better than that. Up to passe, 2, 3, 4, let go, 6, and 7, 8, and reverse the whole thing. So with your dégagés, with your piqué, make sure that you don't go 1, 2, and thud, but it's actually going to be an accent up. So people often describe your piqué as if your toes are hitting the inside of a hot skillet. So lots of energy down, and go ahead and bring it back up as quickly as you can for that nice dynamic. We will do only the right side of this. So en croix with the balance, and then you'll reverse and end with the balance, and we'll finish there. 6, 7, 1, 2, piqué, 1, 2, pas de cheval, 1, 2, piqué, 1, 2, pas de cheval, 1, 2, piqué, 1, 2, pas de cheval, plié, passé, let go, and plié, passé. And that balance. Close it in susu if you can, and finish. Left side. Try to really hit fit in between every single position. Plie and up. Remember, find your balance. Make sure your foot is not sickled in that passe. Also, make sure you're not just sticking your foot on your leg to stay in passe, but you have a constant feeling of lift in the hamstring. And once you find your balance, take that leg down. Keep in contact with your leg the entire time, and finish. Ugh. I kind of didn't realize I would be working out too. Okay, for your rond de jambe, remember going way back to the floor exercises we were doing before, how I was mentioning that you want to keep the pelvis even when you're using one leg or the other. So one example of that would be in this exercise. I'll show it on fast so that you can see what I'm doing. And hopefully you guys have a mirror, like a stand-up like dressing room mirror or something in your house where you can like place that chair in front of it and get kind of a general idea of what you're doing. But also feeling is a huge part of this too. So when you're doing your fondue, remember we want to be generous with the fondue, but no more generous than you would be in your regular plie. So I don't all of a sudden want to shift this weight over and then borrow extra depth in my pelvis area by letting my seat go. So again, your fondue, all a fondue is it's a plie that is balanced over one leg. Now there's no difference in the level of the pelvis. So I'm gonna go, if I were holding onto a bar right now, which I will be soon, I'm gonna go fondue and side, fondue and back, and again, fondue and side, fondue and back. Then rond de jambe with port de bras, 2, 3, 4, quickly off the floor at about 45 degrees, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. And remember, with that envelope that we're going to do, you want to go through those landmark positions from your devant to your derriere. So my tendu devant, then I'm going to really use that turnout to go through a little baby attitude, through a nice coup de pied, through a little baby attitude in the back, and then an arabesque, as opposed to kind of kicking the leg back behind us. And then we'll reverse the whole thing. Fondue, stretch side, stretch front. Repeat, and 6, 7, and 8. 4, rond de jambe en dedans, this time with port de bras, 3, 4, and off the floor, rond, and fondue enveloppe. From there, let's do a port de bras front, a port de bras back, port de bras side, and then let's do plie, balance in coup de pied, and then once you find a coup de pied balance, lift it up slowly to passe. 6 and 7, 8. Fondue. Side, straight down, straight up. And again, straight down. Don't dip that working leg. And port de bras. 2, 3, 4. Off the floor. Fondue, enveloppe, and fondue. Side, side, and front. And port de bras. 7, 8, and port de bras. Again with this, I'm also not lifting the working hip. Hip stays exactly where it's at, and plie. Whew. Girl. Also, I have absolutely no traction right now at all, and I have no help from this chair. Everything's just like, okay. Left side. So, we're going to do a fondue exercise. This is going to be, whereas normally I would tell you to take a giant tombe when you can, because tombe means to fall. You usually want it to be really, really generous. This is a little bit more exact, mostly just to accommodate the fact that we're holding on to the back of the chair because we're in a quarantine. So for this, it's mostly about the placement of your feet on the floor and the placement, if you recall how much we've been talking about this, of your foot in each position. So especially to devant and derriere, you want to have your leg in line with your spine, always. Always. And then to devant, you want to have your leg in line with wherever you're naturally turning out to. So, and you'll notice from looking at these videos, I have far less turnout on my left leg than my right. So that's my story. But yeah, you want to be true to that position. So 5 and 6, you can do this en demi-pointe or flat. And fondue, 45, fondue, 45, fondue, 45, fondue, and 45. From here, I'm going to tombe toward the bar, and then just pick my foot up and coupe where it is behind me. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our little baby tombe. Tombe, and then pas de bras over, front, side, back. And that puts me on my left leg to go to the left. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fondue, where my foot is, fondue. Side, 3, 4, 5, 6. Little tombe, tombe, pas de bourrée over, front, side, back. Again, you can do this on demi-pointe the whole time or not. I will be doing it on demi-pointe because why not? What else do I have to do today, right? Come on. 6 and 7 and 8. Feel the balance in the fondue and over the demi-pointe, which is different. Tombe over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Little tombe, pas de bras over, and 1. Demi-pointe all the way over the ball of the foot in your releve, if you're releveing. Okay, we're gonna do a little floor stretch, but before we do the floor stretch, I'm going to show you one of my favorite hamstring stretches, which guess what? Happens to be on a chair. What? So basically in this exercise, you've probably already done this. If you're a runner, you see runners do this. It kind of looks like nothing, but it's super not. So it doesn't matter where your supporting leg is. You can be turned out or you can be parallel or you can be somewhere in between, which is where I usually am. You do want to have this foot that's on the chair completely parallel. You want to have both of your legs nice and stretched. And you want to flex this foot that's on the chair and then just lean forward at the pelvis. So rather than rounding forward, I'm literally going to take this whole piece and I'm going to go forwards. And you're going to feel a pretty intense stretch pretty quickly. Like, I think we can all agree I'm not a tight person, but this is sore. This is hurting me right now. So this is a really, really great hamstring exercise that's very easy to do really anywhere, like at your office even. I also feel like it's one of the less attention-grabbing stretches to do in a public place, if you know what I mean. Like a lot of dancers, you feel like you can't get a good stretch unless you're like yanking your leg up to here, which is like kind of embarrassing. So this is a great one to do if you're feeling tight. The trick is, again though, just to make sure that you're not like doing this and rounding forward. It's all about taking that stretch from right there and stretching it by bending at the waist in a straight line. So we'll start with that. And just like, 10 seconds or so. Again, with every stretch, you want to make sure that you feel like a gentle to moderate pull or tug. You don't want to feel any sharp pain. You don't want to feel like you're in agony. If you try to stretch beyond a certain point, your body's going to kind of tense up to protect itself, which is kind of like, what's the point of that? All right. Put my bar back where it is. And then let's get on the floor and do a little bit of stretching. Legs in front of you. I'll show us the sides you can see. Up and forwards. When I'm in this stretch, I want to make sure that I'm not letting my knees come up. If you're hyperextended like I am a little bit, I actually like to put my hands beneath my heels so that I can get a full extension of my legs. If you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. And up. This time with flexed feet, nice and stretched legs. Stay stretched in the back until you can't anymore, and then round over. And open to second, wherever your second position is. Not a full like pancake split. To the side. Remember, when you do this stretch, you want to keep your opposing sit bone on the floor so don't go all the way past it. So you get a nice stretch opening up the side of your rib cage, all those nice intercostal muscles. Try to stack your shoulders over each other so you're not opening out this way. Again, it's all about getting that great stretch. You also get it in your arm socket a little bit, which is nice. And walk your hands forward. If you want to stretch into more of a second split, this is the time to do that. And you can either come into your split from this position or you can start right over and bring your legs together. But I'm going to go to my right split or my pre-right split. When I'm stretching in a split, I like to try to turn out my back leg as much as possible. So that when I'm doing a soda shot, for example, I don't have my knee all the way down here. So that's something to think about when you're in your split. And you can go forward if you'd like. And left side. Stretch. You can do a couple of different versions of this, and some people this stretch irritates their knees a little bit, especially if they have very, very tight hip sockets. But if your knees feel fine in this, I like to do that. It's like a pigeon pose, so stacking your knees over each other and then letting your feet fall. You'll feel a different stretch in different parts of your glutes, depending on, like right now, for example, my shins are pretty much parallel. So when I go forwards, I'm going to feel it really in my glute medius. But then if I bring my legs closer to me, I'll feel it even higher up in like my TFL area. So this is a nice little stretch. And I don't feel any pressure on my knees because this is less than my legs turn out naturally. But for example, your hips are really tight, you don't want to go past that position. And then stack the other one. Again, I like to start with the legs pretty parallel. Try to keep both sits bones on the floor when you do this exercise as well. It's also a great exercise to do a lot of like sitting. And bring it back. Okay, so we should be nice and stretched out and limbered up. We've gotten warm with all of our bar exercises and fondues, and then we stretched out on the floor, so everything should feel nice and loose right now, and very ready to do our adagio. So this is going to be basically like a little palindrome. We're going to do a développé, then close up, we're going to do an enveloppé. So it's the exact same motions, but just in reverse. The difference is in our enveloppé, we're going to do a fondue. And again, just to reiterate the idea of the fondue, now that we're going to be in a larger position, a bigger position with our gesturing leg, we still want to make sure that we're not borrowing from our fondue leg by upsetting the pelvis. So even though my legs are going to be higher, for example, when I go to the front, I want to make sure that I don't suddenly jack up this working leg side. I don't know how well you can see that. So not doing this, and to the back, not opening out this way. Yeah, so here we go. So you're going to do a développé for 4 counts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you're going to fondue 5 through attitude 6, through passe 7 and 8. So you're at the top of the développé by 3. Then you're in the passe, which is the apex of the enveloppé, by 7. 1, 2 and 3. Close 4. And fondue 6, 7, and 8. To the back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do a little fondue stretch over the bar. 3, 4, and up other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fondue over, up, détourné. The height for this is not super important to me, as most of you know. I'm going to be showing it at a height that I feel like challenges me, but I would always rather you guys focus on having a correct position specifically, and this is something that is the most helpful when you're in a ballet studio where you have that full-length mirror, but specifically the issue that I find with many, many dance students is that they let that bottom leg kind of soften up on them. So the bigger that the position is in the back, the more I kind of see that knee kind of jellying underneath you, or to the side kind of jelly, or like that. So wherever your leg can be for you to be really, really strong on your standing leg, because as we know, the standing leg is the important, solid, sturdy foundation to anything you're going to do. So if you're compromising the supporting leg, you're going to have a very hard time, for example, taking any of these positions into a pirouette or into a fouette or anything like that. still recording?
Still recording.
Okay, cool. Can you get Sophie?
Come here, Sophie. Come here. Hey, come on. Come here. Sophie, come here. Ah!
Can you see your face? Okay, final combo. I don't know if you guys are tired. I'm so tired now. Okay, so our grand battement, we're gonna do grand battement 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to tendu, back up to battement and close. A couple traps you can fall into with this. Remember, again, can't stress enough, supporting leg. Don't let that supporting leg buckle underneath you. So even if your leg is legit 90 degrees, I would be super thrilled if you have that really sturdy supporting leg so that you're protecting your knee. It looks nicer, it's stronger, we love it. And then when we do our grand battement, I still am seeing a lot of, I know I haven't seen you guys in a couple weeks, but in general, I see a lot of pitching and using the torso to get the leg up there. There is some abdominal control you need to do a grand battement, but you don't want to kink your body and sort of do like a crunch feeling to get your leg up. You want more instead, I think the feeling that I'm still looking for more of from grand battement is that pushing down into the ground and then a toss up. So you should have built up so much momentum in your working leg that by the time it's out here, you have momentum built where you can actually let it go a little bit at the top, rather than laboriously like picking it up and crunching it up. So especially with that tendu to battement, you want to feel that you've had this explosion of down and out energy from the leg so that you have somewhere for your leg to go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5, 6, 7, 8, not 7, 8. Side 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do a little passe 2, 3, down to susu, passe on the other side, 6, 7, 8, and we'll go to the left side. Remember again that neutral position I'm talking about. So if I'm standing in 5th position, I have even weight distributed on both legs. My center of balance is roughly between my feet right now, and then it moves to one leg as I'm gesturing with the working leg. But between all of these battement positions, I still want to always return to that neutral position, especially in anticipation of my battement derriere. Am I going to kick this flower? No, but still, let's do that. In anticipation of my grand battement derriere, I don't want to let everything go, then kick the leg up. I want to actually fight in slow motion to keep that support and then go forward as I need to, then initiate back up with that, the lifting back up of the pelvis. So 3 battements, the 3rd one is to tendu, 4th one is back up. En croix, then passe.